Once upon a time in the quaint town of Eldridge, there lived a young woman named Isabella. She was known for her infectious laughter, warm smile, and kind heart. Isabella had a childhood friend, Alexander, with whom she shared countless memories of innocent adventures and secret dreams. However, one fateful day, everything changed, and the person she thought she knew became an enigma. It all began when Alexander disappeared for several weeks without any explanation. Isabella, worried sick, sought answers from friends and family, but no one had a clue about his whereabouts. As the days turned into weeks, she clung to hope that he would return, unchanged, and life would resume its familiar rhythm. Finally, after a month of agonizing silence, Alexander reappeared at Isabella's doorstep. Relief flooded her heart, and she welcomed him with open arms. However, the joyous reunion was short-lived when she realized that he was not the same person she knew before. In fact, he was not a person at all. Gone was the friendly smile and warm gaze. Instead, there stood a stoic figure with vacant eyes that seemed to hold a mysterious darkness within. Isabella's attempts to engage in light-hearted conversations were met with monosyllabic responses and a chilling detachment. Something had changed in Alexander, and she couldn't shake the feeling that it was something otherworldly. Curiosity mixed with fear, Isabella embarked on a mission to uncover the truth. Late at night, she followed Alexander through the winding alleys of Eldridge, leading her to a dilapidated mansion hidden at the outskirts of town. As she cautiously entered, the air became heavy with an eerie energy, and the atmosphere echoed with the whispers of secrets long buried. In the heart of the mansion, Isabella discovered a dimly lit room where Alexander stood amidst strange contraptions and ancient symbols drawn on the walls. Before her eyes, he began to transform into something monstrous, a creature from the depths of the unknown. His limbs contorted, his skin morphed into a grotesque texture, and his eyes glowed with an otherworldly light. Isabella stumbled backward in horror, realizing that the man she once knew was no longer human. He had become a creature of darkness, a being that defied the laws of nature. Alexander, or whatever he had become, turned towards her with an emotionless gaze, and a guttural voice emerged from his now distorted form. "I am no longer bound by the limitations of humanity," he spoke, sending shivers down Isabella's spine. "I have transcended, evolved into something greater." Isabella, torn between fear and disbelief, pleaded for an explanation. Alexander revealed that he had stumbled upon an ancient ritual that granted him immense power, but at the cost of his humanity. He was now being caught between two worlds, unable to fully embrace either. As days turned into nights, Isabella struggled to accept the reality of her once dear friend's transformation. The town of Eldridge became a haunted place, plagued by strange occurrences and ominous shadows that seemed to follow Alexander wherever he went. The townsfolk, sensing the malevolent force that now lurked within him, shunned him in fear. Isabella, torn between loyalty and self-preservation, faced an impossible choice. Would she stand by Alexander, embracing the darkness that now consumed him? Or would she distance herself, leaving behind the memories of the person he once was? The terrible story of Alexander's transformation unfolded like a dark tapestry, weaving a tale of loss, betrayal, and the haunting consequences of seeking power beyond the realm of mortals. And in the heart of Eldridge, a once thriving friendship was replaced by an unsettling presence that lingered in the shadows, a constant reminder that some secrets were better left buried in the depths of the unknown. As the days passed, Isabella grappled with conflicting emotions. She couldn't erase the memories of the genuine friendship she shared with Alexander, but the monstrous entity he had become cast a dark cloud over those cherished moments. Eldridge, once a haven of simplicity and warmth, transformed into a town haunted by the unsettling presence of the creature that now masqueraded as her friend. Alexander's powers grew stronger with each passing night, and the town's residents became increasingly fearful. Strange occurrences escalated, and the very fabric of reality seemed to warp in his presence. Eldridge became a battleground between the supernatural forces that now held sway over Alexander and the remnants of the ordinary life that had once flourished there. Isabella, torn between her loyalty to a friend and the need to protect the town, sought guidance from an ancient scholar rumored to have knowledge of mystical arts. The scholar, known as Alara, lived on the outskirts of Eldridge, hidden away from prying eyes. Isabella journeyed through treacherous terrain, hoping that Alara held the key to understanding and perhaps even reversing Alexander's transformation. Alara, a wise and weathered figure, revealed to Isabella the grim truth about Alexander's newfound existence. She explained that the ancient ritual he had stumbled upon was a forbidden gateway to a dimension that mortals were never meant to access. The powers he wielded were a double-edged sword, and the consequences of meddling with forces beyond comprehension were dire. Determined to undo the havoc wreaked upon Eldridge, Isabella implored Ilara for guidance. The wise scholar spoke of a rare and elusive artifact, hidden in the heart of an enchanted forest beyond the town's borders. This artifact, she claimed, held the potential to sever the dark connection that bound Alexander to the malevolent forces that now consumed him. Armed with newfound purpose, Isabella set forth on a perilous journey into the heart of the enchanted forest. The journey tested her courage as she faced mystical creatures, ethereal illusions, and the ever-present feeling of being watched by unseen eyes. Yet, driven by the hope of restoring Alexander to his former self, she pressed on. After days of navigating the mystical forest, Isabella stumbled upon the hidden chamber where the artifact lay dormant. It radiated an ancient energy, and as she approached, the air around her crackled with a mix of fear and anticipation. The artifact, a crystalline object pulsating with ethereal light, seemed to respond to Isabella's presence. With trembling hands, she grasped the artifact, feeling a surge of energy coursing through her. It whispered forgotten truths and ancient incantations that echoed in her mind. Isabella understood that wielding such power came with its own risks, but her determination to save her friend outweighed the fear that threatened to consume her. Armed with the artifact, Isabella returned to Eldridge, where chaos reigned in Alexander's wake. The townsfolk, desperate for salvation, looked to her with a mixture of hope and fear. The final confrontation loomed as she made her way to the mansion that had become the epicenter of the supernatural turmoil. The mansion, now distorted by the unholy energies Alexander commanded, stood as a monument to the irreversible changes that had befallen the once peaceful town. Isabella entered, her heart pounding as the air grew thick with an ominous presence. In the heart of the mansion, she confronted Alexander, who now exuded a malevolence that seemed to suffocate the very air. The artifact in Isabella's hands emitted a brilliant light, a beacon of hope in the encroaching darkness. A battle of wills ensued as Isabella invoked the ancient incantations inscribed in the artifact. The very fabric of reality trembled as she sought to sever the dark connection that bound Alexander to the forbidden dimension. The mansion quaked, and the air crackled with an intensity that mirrored the inner struggle between the forces at play. In a moment of clarity, Alexander's eyes flickered with recognition. The vestiges of his humanity, buried beneath layers of darkness, fought against the malevolent entity that sought to dominate him. Isabella, fueled by the memories of their shared past, pressed on, determined to break the chains that held her friend captive. As the incantations reached a crescendo, the artifact unleashed a surge of energy that enveloped Alexander. The mansion crumbled, and reality seemed to fold in on itself. In the chaos, the monstrous form of Alexander convulsed, as if caught between two conflicting worlds. When the dust settled, Isabella found herself standing in the ruins of the mansion, the artifact now inert in her hands. The oppressive darkness that had gripped Eldridge lifted, and the townsfolk emerged from their hiding places, cautiously assessing the aftermath. However, there was no sign of Alexander. Heart-heavy with a mix of grief and relief, Isabella surveyed the ruins. The mansion, once a symbol of supernatural malevolence, now lay in ruins. The townsfolk, though grateful for the restoration of peace, cast wary glances at the spot where Alexander had once stood. As the days passed, Eldridge slowly healed from the scars of the supernatural ordeal. Isabella, haunted by the memories of the terrible transformation, became a silent guardian of the town. Whispers of the strange events lingered, passed down through generations as cautionary tales of the dangers that lurked in the shadows. Eldridge returned to a semblance of normalcy, but the absence of Alexander served as a constant reminder of the price paid for meddling with the forbidden. Isabella, forever changed by the harrowing journey, carried the weight of the past, wondering if the line between friend and monster had blurred irreversibly. The tale of Alexander, the once beloved friend turned creature of darkness, became a cautionary legend, a chilling reminder that some secrets were better left undisturbed. And the consequences of unraveling the unknown could be more terrible than anyone could imagine. Years passed, and Eldridge became a town that carried the scars of its supernatural ordeal. Isabella, though respected for her role in saving the town, lived a solitary existence. The memories of the haunted mansion, the ancient incantations, and the elusive artifact lingered in her dreams, a constant reminder of the fragile balance between the known and the unseen. One stormy night, a mysterious figure emerged from the shadows, seeking refuge at Isabella's doorstep. The hooded stranger's voice carried a haunting familiarity, and as the lightning flashed, revealing glimpses of the visitor's face, Isabella's heart skipped a beat. It was Alexander. The once monstrous creature now stood before her, human once more. His eyes, though haunted, reflected a glimmer of the friend she had known. Isabella, torn between skepticism and a longing for the past, hesitated before welcoming him into her home. Alexander spoke of his journey through the abyss, the struggle between the darkness that had consumed him and the remnants of his humanity. He recounted how, in the depths of that otherworldly realm, he had fought against the malevolent forces that sought to enthrall him forever. It was a battle of wills, a journey through the darkest recesses of his own soul. As he spoke, Isabella saw the sincerity in his eyes, and the weight of the years seemed to bear down on him. He was a changed man, scarred by the experiences that transcended the boundaries of the known world. In that moment, Isabella faced a choice: to forgive and rebuild the fractured friendship, or to let the specter of the past continue to haunt them both. Torn but guided by the enduring bond they once shared, Isabella extended a hand to Alexander. The storm outside raged on, a tumultuous reflection of the emotions swirling within their hearts. Together, they faced the daunting task of rebuilding trust and understanding, navigating the aftermath of a journey that had taken them to the brink of the supernatural. The townsfolk of Eldridge, initially wary of Alexander's return, observed the unfolding events with a mixture of curiosity and caution. Whispers of the once monstrous creature's redemption circulated through the community, and as time passed, acceptance replaced apprehension. Isabella and Alexander became a symbol of resilience, a testament to the possibility of redemption even in the face of unimaginable darkness. They worked side by side to rebuild the mansion, transforming it into a sanctuary for those who sought refuge from the mysteries that lurked beyond the veil of the ordinary. Eldridge, though forever marked by the events of that fateful night, flourished anew. The townsfolk learned to coexist with the lingering shadows, acknowledging that the line between friend and monster was not always clear-cut. Isabella and Alexander's journey, once a tale of terror, evolved into a legend of hope, reminding the townspeople that even in the darkest corners, redemption and renewal were possible. And so, the story of Eldridge continued, a town that carried the scars of the supernatural, yet embraced the possibility of a brighter future. Isabella and Alexander, forever changed by their shared odyssey, walked hand in hand into the uncertain dawn, their intertwined fates a testament to the enduring power of friendship and the capacity for redemption in the face of the unknown.
Like, subscribe, and click on notifications that will allow you to stay up to date with the news and not miss videos from the channel, where there will be many more horror stories.